walk by the hotel where Heath Ledger died. We're like, what?
Let's go in and see the drawing of the outline of his body. Like,
you think they've got like the hotel room, like the Hotel Del in San Diego has the haunted hotel room where people can stay.
Yes,
like you think
you pay extra to stay in the room that he died in. Jesus Christ! Have you seen many of his other films? Like any of his Australian films?
Heath Ledger?
Yeah. Because you're a bit of a movie buff, yeah?
Yeah, but I also know those films in Australia pretty much stay in Australia.
No, there's one that you need to see, which is fucking brilliant. And I've mentioned this on another podcast. It's called Two Hands.
What is it? Two Hands?
Two Hands. It's called Two Hands. It's got Rose Byrne in it as well. It's got a few actors that you would know, Australian actors that you would know.
Well, yeah, we pretty much take all your guys' fucking actors away.
Oh, that's all right. We do the same thing to New Zealand. But, New Zealand can have Russell Crowe back. They can take him back. But what, you took Mel Gibson, you took Nicole Kidman.
Oh, you guys can have Mel Gibson back.
You took Keith Urban. Oh, you can keep him.
Honestly, Mel Gibson is one of like the most batshit fucking crazy people in the world. But I think technically he's American, right?
Yeah, I think he was actually born in America, moved to Australia when he was 4, and was raised in Australia until he was like 24, just after Mad Max, the first Mad Max.
Yeah, and I feel like the way I know like he's fucked up in the head and he's a fraud is that his accent changed each time.
Well, Australians have a really weak accent when it comes to, if they go to another country, we pick up accents very easily. So, if I went to live in Ireland for a year, I would come back with an Irish accent. If I went to America for a year, I would come back with an American accent. We have a very weak accent, as in we pick up other accents very easily. And I think it's just because it's a very lazy accent we have. I mean, you listen to it and we cut the shit out of everything we say. It's so slanged. I was like talking to Brad and he's talking about a Barry and a Sharon. And I was like, oh, Bazza and Shazza. And he goes, how the fuck do you get that? How do you get Shazza from Sharon? I was like, I don't know. That's just an Australian thing that we do.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, I grew up in the Bay Area, so it's like, it's pretty much completely slang there. Like it could be almost a foreign language to other people who like grew up outside of the area. Like I was watching this movie, Blind Spotting, which is written by two guys who grew up in Oakland and filmed in Oakland and everything. And there's a scene where he's trying to sell a boat that they got out of the backyard when they were moving a house.
Yeah.
Just like this little fucking sailboat. And this dude pulls up in his car and they start negotiating with like all Bay Area slang. And like literally like it all made sense to me. Like the entire thing was it all like I knew what they were negotiating. But if you showed that to fucking anybody else outside of the Bay Area, that shit would have just been straight gibberish and you would have thought it was made up completely. Like one of the fucking things he's selling the dude on is he says, which is one of like my favorite fucking phrases in the Bay Area like ever is he's like, this will get you a flight to Boston, which is getting you boss head, like good head. So like, and like it just sounds like crazy fucking gibberish, but flight to Boston means like getting some really good fucking head.
That was like the Australian saying, I didn't come here to fuck spiders. Meaning like whatever you've just asked me, of course I didn't come here to fucking do anything else.
sort of like a bear, does a bear shit in the woods or something?
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
It's pretty much our version of that. I didn't come to fuck spiders, mate. Fucking yes, let's go.
And that was just created by some drunk ass who was rambling about nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the other saying. Like somebody laughed at the other day when they were like, "Oh, you're busy," and I was like, "Yeah, mate, I'm busier than a one-hour bricklayer in Baghdad." And he fucking laughed at that, and I was just like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, mate, that's funny." And I was like, "Well, it's just fucking something that Australians say. It's not really. we've got there's a ton of them. There's a guy called there's a rugby union player, an Australian guy called the Honey Badger. His first name's Nick, but if you ever Google him, that's the way he talks. He just talks in like rhyming slang, Australian rhyming slang. And it's really funny to listen to. Like even Australians, no one talks to the extent that he does. And he did it as he did it as for fun in an interview, but then just kept doing it in every interview. And now that's what he's known for. I don't think he even plays rugby union anymore. He just does like interviews and he does ads and everything just to use the slang.
He's probably making more money now off that.
Yeah.
I mean, do rugby players make a lot of money down there?
Rugby union players do if they go to Japan or outside of Australia. Rugby league, which is the faster version of it. So there's two different. There's rugby union, rugby league. League is much faster and what more Australians like. The highest paid player in rugby league's only $1 million.
I mean, it makes sense because what was the Australian football player, Jared Hayne?
Yeah, he played for San Fran, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he basically came over and made way more money and didn't even do shit. He never even played a fucking game, and he made more money doing it.
And he was a god when he played here. I mean, you should have seen the way he moved, and you know it was a pretty good move. But we made fun of him, like he was a joke. He was a jokey because like he was like, oh, it's always been my dream to play. It's always been my dream to play American football ever since I could play Madden. What?
Dude, what? Just trying to cash a paycheck.
Just because you play career mode doesn't mean you can fucking play it.
And then didn't he come back and get busted for like raping women or some shit?
He got done for assault, sexual assault. I don't know how that ended up. I think he doesn't play NRL anymore. But what he did, he come back and he was just like, so he come back after being rejected or let go, and then he's like, oh. It's always been my dream to play for Fiji in the World Cup of Rugby Union. And everyone's like, why can't you just fucking did your dream? Fucking now it's you. And then like Fiji turned around. It's like, swear to God, Fiji went and go, no, we don't want you. we don't need you.
Wait, is that because he's like ethnically able to play for them? Like he's
he can play. He's Australian, but he can play for Fiji because he's got Fijian parents or Fijian heritage. So it's really weird how we do our. I mean, soccer, football is different. Once you play for a team, that's it. You got to stick to that country, right? But in rugby league, you could be playing for the Australian team, and then a World Cup comes around, and if you've got a Lebanese parent, you can play for Lebanon.
Oh yeah, that's like the same thing with U.S. Soccer players. Like we have U.S. Soccer players who maybe don't make the team, and then they go play for Ghana or something like that.
Yeah, you're not good enough to make Australia, the top team, but then especially the Pacific Islanders, right? So this is amazing. Like you're a Pacific Islander, and you get chosen for Australia. You can either play for Australia, and then if you don't get picked for Australia, you go, I'll play for New Zealand. But if you don't get picked for New Zealand, I'll play for Tonga. If you don't get picked for Tonga, I'll play for Samoa. Oh, I don't get picked for Samoa. I'll go. You just keep going.
Yeah.
Until one of the teams we'll have you.
Yeah, you got an endless list there. It's not bad. It's not a bad deal, actually. I mean, technically, I could go get a fucking a dual citizenship for Ireland because my grandma was born in Ireland.
Yeah, see, my mum's Northern Irish, so she was born in Northern Ireland. And then come over and then met my dad, so I can get a British passport,
which doesn't really do you any good now that they're not part of the fucking.
No. That's why I haven't bothered getting one. I probably get more places with an Australian passport than a British one now.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was like the whole reason why I'm like even considering getting the dual citizenship is because like if I ever do want to go travel, like I could literally with the Irish fucking passport, you can go anywhere super easily.
Yeah. Well, I think when the fuck are you guys going to come to Australia? I mean, you need to come to Australia. Oh, Alex.
Yeah.
You'd fucking love Australia.
I've been on wanting to go to Australia since like the very beginning. I remember when the Facebook page like first started blowing up and there was a ton of Australians in there. And I was like, oh, dude, that would be fucking awesome to go to Australia and do some fucking shows out there. Because honestly, like, for whatever reason, Australians get us, you know.
It's because I had this discussion with Brad. It's because we're less PC.
Yeah.
We're less PC and we're more, what you talk about is how we think and how we act and what we talk about on a daily basis. Like you said, like we're a country that calls people cunt and it's not offensive. I mean, you call your best friends cunts. That's like, hey, you answer the phone. How you going, cunt? What's up, cunt? You're a good cunt. Thanks, cunt. Cheers, cunt. See you, cunt. That's the way you talk to your mates.
Yeah. Well, what is the phrase? It's in Australia. In Australia, your mates are cunts and cunts are mates.
Yeah. Because when you don't like something, yeah, righto, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, righto. I think it's the Australian version of you guys going, yeah, righto, buddy.
Yeah, I mean that's so like I remember I was there's this girl that I have known for a while, just in the group of friends that we hang out with, and she like a few summers ago we all started partying together even more, and we were drunk one day after going out. For all of us went to brunch, and then we had been drinking all day, and it's like towards the end of the night, and she's like, you know, I really hated you for a really long time.
Thanks.
And I was like, why? Like, what did I do? She's like, well, one time when we were all watching football at the bar on a Sunday, your parents were down visiting, and I asked you to introduce me to your parents, and you told me that you said no because you can't. You said that I said to her, I can't swing a dead cat without hitting a guy you fucked in PB. And like obviously I was joking. Like I would have introduced her to my parents. Like I didn't like actually mean that. And she like took it personally, and I was like, no, like if I say shit like that to you, it means that like we're friends. You know, it means that like I'm not like taking you too seriously and I'm just joking around with you. But apparently she took it like really seriously and thought I was an asshole for a really long time.
I don't know why she'd be offended at you calling her the town doorknob because everyone's at a turn.
Yeah, why are you mad? I just called you a slut. Like,
yeah,
no big deal.
Lighten the fuck up, bitch. Mate,
I mean, go
sorry. I'll finish what you were saying because I'll get into this in a minute.
Oh no, I was gonna say in no disrespect to her at all, I love her, but you know she definitely fucked a bunch of my friends.
Fucking all right. So I don't know if you've listened to the podcast or not, but at the end of near the end of the podcast, I said, well, the second half of the podcast, I ask my guests a bunch of weird and random questions, thought provoking, funny. So the first question, and I asked different ones except two. So I've got two that I ask everybody. The first one is, and I've asked Scoop and Brad this, is toilet paper over or under?
It's over.
Over?
Easy.
Yeah. Do you scrunch or fold?
Fold.
Oh, he's quick. And do you look at it before you put it in the bowl?
Like look at the toilet paper?
Yeah, do you check it? Do you like wipe
after the wipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you gotta make sure that you know that you're not wiping a clean ass.
Brad lost his shit today because he learnt for the first time there's somebody in the world that wipes back to front, and he's like, you can't get shit on your balls. And I go, well, that's where you fucking cup the boys and you lift them up. You don't get shit on the balls. It's just, and he's like sitting there, he's like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, and I'm like, just, you know, it's magic, mate. Magic.
Yeah. You just don't fully go on your balls.
Fucking, I don't want shitty nuts. Shit nuts, man. I got enough nuts in my shit to rub some more
Honestly,
in it.
With the toilet paper shortages, I was thinking about getting one of those bidet things.
Brad has one.
Yeah, he has one. Yeah.
Just go in the
Honestly,
shower.